So last week, as Rodrigo said, I went on around this particular idea from outliers, but I had the feeling after the presentation that I wasn't clear enough. I wasn't clear as I wanted to be, so I'm gonna go about it again, okay? Well, briefly, we went on around on how chance and luck make up for one's chance of success rather than only hard working and sweating, right? This week, I would like to deep digger into the main idea that Malcolm Gladwell depicts in his book, which is how much time does it take for someone to really be considered good at something, right? Well, after some consideration into his story, he comes up with a number, 10,000 hours. And basically, how long is that in fact? That is basically 8 years of dedication, working every business day in the year for roughly 5 hours a day. And at this point, you're probably asking yourselves, what does it take and what does this have to do with one's chance of thriving, being bigger than others? Well, then I get back to the point that I also tackled last week, which is Bill Gates, the example here. Everyone knows him as this genius college dropout kid who came up with the idea to create these incredible operating systems that runs on basically every computer in the globe, right? Well, it could be, wasn't it for the fact that in a time where computer processing power was crazy expensive and scarce, he was just in the right place to take advantage of it. For starters, his parents were in good standing financially, being able to afford enrolling him in a very nice privately held school called Lakeside near his house. The Mothers Club at the school pushed for the creation of an IT club during his second year, and using proceeds from this fundraiser, they managed to buy both a recently released terminal and a block of programming time on a General Electric computer, the industry back in the region and close to his school. So with that, they were able to access technology which happened to be very scarce at the time and not even available for many college institutions at the time. In addition to that, the Washington University, he was from Seattle, if you guys are not aware. So the Washington University created this spin-off firm dedicated for IT only, which rented processing power for local industries. One of the founders of the firm happened to have a kid at Bill Gates School. And in exchange for more funding and money for buying processing time at the General Electric computers, they suggested that Lakeside students could beta test software, which they promptly agreed upon. This relationship eventually evolved in such a way that Lakeside students were granted access to the Washington University IT Center, where they had the opportunity to work with several different coding interfaces. Nerdy as he certainly was, by the time he reached college, he had accumulated so much experience in coding from all these past opportunities that he was way ahead of similarly talented youngsters that weren't presented by life with same circumstances. In the end, we eventually reached the same outcome. Circumstances as being born earlier in the year for hockey, or being granted unlimited programming time as a kid in a time it was prohibitively expensive, are huge differentials that provide natural-born talented individuals with an opportunity to be ahead of what would pose as competition only far in the future. And these, of course, summed up to a lot of sweating, help create these outliers that we see on a day-to-day basis. That's pretty much it.
Thanks, Diogo. Very much. All right, so Diogo talking about one of the richest men in the world, high performer for sure. Talking about money, or those who are trying to save money. Our next speaker, Haroldo, is going to talk about how you can save. Oh, sorry, I'm running ahead of myself. So you have the feedback cards to the right. You have about 3 minutes, right? That's it. Okay, so you can start now.